What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Galar Goodbye Gauntlet. As always, I'm Carter Noble, and today we have none other than Casey with us, probably better known on like the internet as TitanRisingKM. What's going on, Casey? What's up, dude?
You guys will have to bear with me tonight. I got diagnosed with strep for the third time since August, so I'm here, but I'm struggling. But I'm ready to play some Pokemon, ready to play some Series 12.
And see, I had asked if you wanted to push this back because, like, I don't want you to just suffer through for the sake of this, but obviously, when you're dedicated to your craft, you have to continue to play. I understand.
It's a grudge match for you and I because we have a Series 13 match on the we did a laddering or a rumble, and I got a win on you there, and I felt like the champion of the world, and absolutely was beyond excited. And then we play in Series 12 for the LDL, and as I was listening to the podcast this past week, one of your only win was against me, and I felt so low. So now I have to come back and avenge that.
I only played 2 matches.
So your only win is me.
And when I was prepping for that match, I told my team I had to play something Casey has never played against. Because if I spend the entire time making him flustered to try to learn something, I'm going to win.
I could not figure out what you used a Doug Trio, and I could not figure out what I was supposed to do with it.
Yeah, because it was Arena Trap, which, trapping effects in general are really complicated for, newer players. There's something that, are very difficult to play around if you don't know how to.
Right.
And then, on top of that, seeing a Pokemon like Doug Trio for the first time, you're just like, I have no idea what this is going to do. It's literally an open book, and no one can tell me what's going on right now. I get it. And
I rushed to Pokélytics, and I sat there and I was like, what's this thing's ability? What's it doing? What's it doing? What can it do? And looking back, the simple thing would have been attempt to switch a Pokemon out.
Yeah, and that's genuinely is the simplest solution. Especially on if you go on Showdown, if you play against something that could potentially trap you, it gives you a little notification saying you may be trapped, your options could be locked in if you do this. It pops up a little message. And so that's just a thing that you can do. Is just all right, well, if we try this and we can't, obviously we know what's going on there. But even past the trapping effect, it's just who knows what this, what attacks this thing has. Seeing it for the first time, it's an open book. It's just genuinely terrifying.
Absolutely. I sat back and to me, it both summarized Series 12 in the best way possible and in the worst way possible.
Yeah. I fully agree.
Because the thing that I've come to notice, I personally started in Series 12.
Mm-hmm.
I picked it up back in May, right around Liverpool/Indianapolis was right about the time I started.
Yep.
And I come from a Magic background, and as you know, because we still talk Magic a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
First thing I did was try to find any gameplay that I could watch and try to grasp how to play this game better. What could I do to learn the basics as fast as I could? So I started watching Indianapolis and Liverpool, and I immediately I was drawn to Trick Room teams, and I felt like I tried that out, and I had some pretty good success on the low laddering on the cart, just
mm-hmm.
going through and playing that, and that gave me such a weird feeling because I did really well. I think I went 10-2 in my first 12 games, and then getting into the rest of Series 12, and you realize that it is just this wide wasteland of all these different archetypes and Pokemons that can be used, but yet it's also so centralized that there was so many Pokemon that you saw so frequently. Like there's 4 that I would guarantee. I mean, as we know from usage stats, were just everywhere, and that being Kyogre, Groudon, Zacian, and Incineroar. They were everywhere. So like it was both. You could kind of play whatever you wanted, but at the same time, you really had to be aware if you weren't going to play the strongest parts of the format. How do you beat the strongest parts of the format?
This format reminds me a lot of like the olden days of Modern, like connecting this to Magic, where you can play anything you want and have success doing so. But you also need to be aware that there is always going to be a big boogeyman of the format that everyone has a plan for. So you can play the big boogeyman with, Zacian, pick your weather duo, Incin, Grimmsnarl, whatever. Like, you can play that core and have very good success with it and have the reps against, everything. Or you can play the off-the-wall Solgaleo Dugtrio team that people have never seen before and have success with that because you know the team better than anyone else does. Right. So that's really interesting about these more these restricted formats is there's a lot of Pokemon that you just don't see elsewhere. Stuff that really comes to mind is Umbreon. Umbreon's not very good when it comes to a limited dex format, but when it comes to these higher power formats, the extra bulk that it has and the utility moves that it has are very useful, being able to just take all the hits all day, recover up with Moonlight, pressure your opponent's stats with Baby Doll Eyes, Snarl, or Yawn, just sit there and annoy your opponent to death is essentially the way Umbreon plays, right?
Right.
But at the same time, you have also your super heavy hitters of the format of Zacian that can just OHKO anything at any point. You have your Regieleki that can just pressure anything, which we've talked about Regieleki the last several formats. And it's going to continue to be that way. Now you have things like Cali Ice and Cali Shadow coming back as well. And man, Cali Shadow gets really good when you're able to pair it with another restricted. Being able to, really lean in on, this is my late game sweeper. I'm going to pressure you with everything else, and then when your resources are dwindled down, I'm going to bring in my finisher and clean up the game. That's something that we saw Austin Acosta do when he top 8'd his regional. It's just all right, well, I'm going to throw everything at the table, and suddenly you don't have any answers left for Cali Shadow and just wins the game.
I was this close to playing his team.
Dude, his team's very good. I was also this close to playing it.
That was the actual first Little Root Lessons podcast I listened to, was his podcast where he discussed that team.
Yeah.
And I love Calyrex Shadow. Love Calyrex Shadow. My wife and I both are big fans. We love the Cali so much that outside of the game, we also play Pokemon decks centered around in the TCG centered around the Calis.
Yeah.
And so I always felt that I played best when I had one or the other Cali on my team. And obviously I'm eager to play today because I would say that I'm a different player than the last time I touched Series 12. And I can confirm to you sitting here, and it's not going to be a surprise, I guess, that I did not bring either of the Calyrex.
Yeah, and I mean, just watching you grow, like you said, I think you joined the Discord in early May, like you said, and you put out this message fairly early on of just hey, I want to get better at this. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Can someone reach out to me? And that's well, you and I now have our personal connections. I reached out to you. I'm hey, let's work on getting you better because I know with your background and everything, I'm coming from a very similar background. I don't want you to make the mistakes that I've done. Let me help you with what I know. And I know you've gotten immensely better from, just the first time we've played to the first matches I've watched you play. And a lot of that really does come from you having all of these like draft leagues and everything that you've been involved in, and just like having more people to interact with to really help you grow as a player. And I think that's
so.
Yeah, it's like that's a good thing about these like draft leagues and stuff, is just like being able to really have a solidified plan, being able to have people to bounce ideas off of, and like learn from everyone else, I think is a really, really good way to do it. And that's part of the like mentality we have behind the community we have. It's just like, I don't want anyone to feel like they can't ever just be like, hey, here's my stupid thing. I'm very dead set on doing this stupid thing. How do I make this as good as I can? And like, you know,
Please tell me you're not hearing my cat go crazy in the background.
No, not at all.
She is like the plant from Little Shop of Horrors, like, feed me, Titan.
We ran out of cat food this morning, and so that's how Tiff and our cat wakes us up in the morning with just, hey, I'm hungry, wake up now, just come feed me. And yeah, so you know, I just got home and fed them, and as soon as they saw the food, they were just at my feet, just sitting there waiting, just meowing at me nonstop. I'm like, all right, you're fine.
Right. We have a running gag that the cat that I'm in reference to, her name is Miko. She's named after a cat that Freddie Mercury had. That she only exists to take over the world, and the reason she wants to take over the world is so that she can get the nun-nuns with gravy. Because we always ask her if she wants the nun-nuns.
Dude, I love our cats. I love animals.
Yeah. Well, back to Pokemon talk instead of talking about our animals. There she is behind me.
This format's just really, really interesting. The first decks, you know, this is the first format we've had in Sword and Shield where you have multiple restricteds. You have the in-game like gimmick of like Dynamaxing to be able to push that even farther, and then you have this, you know, the like Zacian, Zamazenta, Eternatus, like that trio, just like, all right, well, we can't abuse the mechanic, but we can abuse you for using it, like, you know, with their specialty moves and everything. So this format's really interesting, and I'm really excited to see, like, not only how this plays out, but like, you know, we're very quickly coming up to like the end of Sword and Shield's life. We have this one, and then we have Series 13 next week, which that one I have a feeling is going to be a little rough because I think I've played a handful of games, and I can't stand the format from the games I've played. So right. I'm really going to be reliant on my partner there to, you know, tell people, yeah, this format's cool, and not just me bashing it for 20 minutes.
Yeah. I think after the Rumble, I played Series 13 like one time, and then when we switched the LDL to Spikemuth, that's all I played.
Yeah. See, I don't think I played a single game of Spikemuth.
I made that decision personally because I thought that it would help me prep for Scarlet and Violet, because it would be a more reflective format without Dynamax, and being the kind of format where some of your power level's a little weaker, even though we still had access to some legendary.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited to get back into Series 12, it being the original format that I played, the format that I came in on. It's kind of special to me. I know I would say it's probably the most controversial format, in my opinion, maybe next to Series 13. Because either you love this format or you hate this format. There's not a lot of in between. Correct me if I'm wrong, was this the format that we stayed in the longest of all the series?
It is. We had, this was the first format that we had for like longer than, I think, 3 months, where we ended up having it for about 6, I think, total. And then on top of that, this is also the series that we finally had events come back for, like in-person events. So
right.
it's really unique as to like what we're going to like what we saw, because we could actually build a metagame based on like what people were bringing to tournaments and stuff, and not just, well, here's what, I played in this like 20-person tournament this week and I did well with this, or here's my Victory Road team from where I finished top 8 in this event or whatever. It's just like, I'm not saying those don't matter, but the fact that like this is a format we had for an extended period of time with constant events going on really helped bring this format to people's attention, I think.
You also have to consider that with those events, you had the highest. It's much like Magic. The highest level players bring what they've tested and found, and that often defines the meta because they find often the pieces that go together the best. While this format, like as we talked about, could be kind of the wild, wild west and be whatever you wanted to bring, there was a solved portion of the meta, and you were able to understand how the matchups navigate. My friend and I, whenever we were traveling for Magic, always said the best formats were whenever you had something that was a rock, paper, scissors battle, where you had one deck that could beat this deck, but then it had a deck that could beat it, but the first deck could beat the third deck, and it was always, there was a kind of a rotation. And that's kind of how I felt about Series 12, except it wasn't just like rock, paper, scissors. It was more like rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. I mean, it was open to a lot more possibilities.
Yeah, I mean, that's genuinely a good way of looking at it, where you can play anything and have success, or you can play one of the big threes and just have this constant battle going on. So I think this is going to be a really, really fun match. Like you said, this is our third match, so this is for all the marbles. I can't imagine we're going to be playing against each other anymore in Sword and Shield. So like, this is literally for everything.
Yeah. Zero. I cannot think of any reason we would play against each other other than just like for fun. And I doubt that either one of us want to do that as close to Scarlet and Violet as we are.
I'm playing this match. I'm playing Series 13, and then probably like some DPEC and my RTT matches, and then I'm done. So I'm very quickly getting close to being done with Sword and Shield myself, and it feels weird to say that.
It depends on if I am fielded for the VCL, where I'm on Team Dojo with Neku and Zardy and Dread and all of them, or if I'm fielded in the Blackthorn City Draft League that Shiny Umbreon and Reiki did, and we've got one more week of that, which is next week. So if I'm fielded next week, I'll play that game, and if I'm not fielded, obviously not. The only thing with Sword and Shield that I'm still doing is I'm still playing through the final playthrough for my Twitch channel.
Yeah, for sure. So, I think before we get to it, do you want to plug your stuff where people can find you, all that good stuff before we jump in?
Yeah, absolutely. I stream over on Twitch. I try to stream at least Thursday through Sunday. Tonight actually is Thursday, and if you were watching this back, you're going to know I didn't stream tonight. I do not feel super great. I am putting forth as much of an effort to be lively right now as possible, but I guarantee you when this is over, I'm bed. So I won't be streaming tonight, but you can catch me Mondays or Thursday through Sundays. Sometimes I stream on Monday and Tuesday. I do a variety of things. Any of our past videos that you want to see, my wife and I both do a variety of different content over on YouTube at K2 Gaming KY. That also happens to be our gaming Twitter, and then I have a personal Twitter at TitanRisingKM.
For sure. So, I think that's it, man. I think we're getting to it.
Let's do it.
All right, man. Good luck. Have fun.
You too.
So this team was sent in to me from Angelo. This is a team that he had a very good success rate with at Secaucus, finishing top 32. Him and Spacu Titan worked on that pretty extensively. And then Mia, who probably is better known as Moon Online, took this team to Worlds and played this at day one of Worlds. This is the current iteration that she worked on. And I'm, obviously very excited to play this. We had the early iteration that Angelo played with at Secaucus that, he did very well with up on the channel for laddering. But yeah, he's... I believe we've dropped Rillaboom and Lando for Ditto and Thundurus. So I'm really excited to see how this plays out. Yeah, this seems sick. I love Cali Shadow. I think Dialga was super, super underexplored in this format. I'm excited to get back to it. So let's get paired up here, and we will see you in game. Let's do it. I'm excited. I almost played Adam's Araquanid team because I still had it on rental as well, and that team is obviously very fun. I really enjoy that team, but gotta give shout outs to Angelo. Ooh, we got Rinya. I actually really expected Casey to bring it Rinya. I think this team is very good. Obviously, one of the pillars of the format with Groudon, Charizard being able to do things. You have Grimmsnarl to be able to set screens and disrupt your opponent, and then Zacian to clean up the end game here is obviously very good too. I don't envision him bringing Ensign here. It doesn't really line up well against essentially anything. Both of my restricted tier are both special attackers, so I don't envision him wanting to bring Ensign. So as a result, I think Thundurus is off the table. Thundurus lines up well against Charizard, but the rest of the team, it kind of doesn't really do anything against. So I really like the idea of both of my restricteds. I like Ensign, I like Grimmsnarl. I think Ditto could be very useful to be able to copy opposing Charizard or something after Dynamax, get all those speed boosts. But I think I'm just gonna go... I think Cali plus Dialga up front is actually pretty okay. I think I went Ensign in the back just to be able to pressure with Intimidates in on both of his restricteds. And I think I'm gonna bring the Ditto here for game 1. Ditto might be something that Casey hasn't played a ton against, and so as a result I can kind of get him there. But honestly, that's not what this is about. I'm here to showcase a really good match, and I think this matchup's really interesting. I believe combined the team who put this team together had a pretty successful win rate against Rinya, so hoping I do them a little bit of justice here. So he's most likely going to be going for a light screen here from the Grimmsnarl. I kind of like the idea of going for the speed swap, but I think I really like the idea of just Will-O-Wisping the Zacian here. I could do that, and then I could just max and go for steel, max Steel Spike into this. I also think going into Ensign, get rid of that attack boost on the Zacian could be fine here. But I don't think there's any reason he should protect Zacian this turn, so we should be able to get him with the Will-O-Wisp here. Alright, Intimidate coming out here. And now we're going to see Light Screen go up. Perfect. Exactly what we want to see. I'm going to do my thing. Oh, no! It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. Everything's okay. No need to panic. Guys, we're fine. Everything's okay. I think I'm just going to protect Calyrex this turn. And I'm going to go back into Dialga here. I think he protects Zacian this turn. Just trying to, I could see him setting Reflect here and going for Light Screen. Reflect. And we're just going to go for Thunder Wave. Very, very cool. Behemoth Blade. Okay. He's not setting Reflect. That's kind of good for us. So now I think I'm safe to go back into Ensign here. And I'm going to max and go for the Steel Spike into Grimmsnarl. I want to pressure the Grimmsnarl a lot here because at -1, Zacian's not going to be able to do a ton of damage. Even like a Behemoth Blade into Dialga Dynamax here is not going to do a ton. Obviously, it's still going to do a lot. But, like, if this is his game plan, I could honestly just go for, like, Game 2 lead on my own Grimmsnarl and go for the Thunder Wave into his Zacian to, like, mitigate the speed from it as well. Alright. Dynamax coming out here from us. Alright. Oh, it's just gonna be Sacred Sword. Yeah, that does essentially nothing. Come on, one shot. Crit. Oh! Oh, we didn't even crit! Oh! Oh, Dialga. Oh, you are... Hold on now. That was uncalled for, Dialga. That was rude. Alright, Charizard coming out here. Most likely going to see Groudon as his partner here in the back. I think as a result, I'm just going to go for a Parting Shot into the Zard. I could... We're going to get cheeky. We're going to get real cheeky here. We're going to Flare Blitz into the Zacian slot. Notably, he does not have Reflect up. He just has Light Screen. And I feel like if he does swap into Groudon, we're just immediately going to take away his Sun as well. By smacking the ever-living crap out of this Charizard. What's the chances he's able to live a ×4 effective Rock Fall? Like, even Wildfire here, I don't think is going to do... I don't think this is going to be a lot. It's going to hurt, but I don't think it's going to be a lot. We do still have our Cali Shadow in the back. Sash was broken, but we're fine there. Dialga, you kind of suck. Why you gotta do me dirty like that? You ever wish... Oh, your Life Orb. Okay. I mean, that's still a ton. At least this is a sun-boosted Flare Blitz now. Burn? 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 Never lucky. Okay, this is fine, though. Is it fine? I can Scarf... I can bring out Ditto here. This is going to avoid Wildfire damage if I copy the Zard. I'm guaranteed to be faster than Zard. Or I copy the Groudon and there's a chance I can outspeed his Zard there as well. Or I can just bring in Calyrex. I think Ditto is really important for this endgame against Zacian. So I think bringing out Calyrex here and just clicking Astral Barrage, potentially losing it this turn, could be enough to like secure this game. I kind of want to just Parting Shot into the Zard. Because I don't think we're able to KO it. And I don't think he actually bothers to attack Ensign this turn. I'm really hoping we can at least KO the Groudon. I think if we do that, we're in a pretty okay position. Got it, not even close. Okay, there's Airstream. Calyrex is going to go down. But depending on who Ditto copies now... I mean, I'm getting a speed boost either way on my Ditto. Okay. We're gaming. Okay, Shuka is eaten. We eat that up. We do get the parting shot off into Zard. I'm really hoping we don't copy Zard because I would like to not copy that special attack drop. Show me Groudon. Perfect. He's going to take Solar Power. I'm going to take Wildfire. I'm going to bring out Ensign to intimidate his Groudon. Okay. So now my Groudon is not intimidated. His is... Groudon might be faster than... Do I get to see... Nope. That's really unfortunate. I would have liked to see how good, I have Stone Edge. Oh. Do I outspeed Zard? I mean, if I outspeed Zard, I'm in a really good position here with Stone Edge. Man. I don't think I win this game, which is rather unfortunate. I'm going to fake out the Groudon. Like, we know it doesn't have Protect, so this is just free damage in on it. Okay. Suddenly we're in an okay position. We know his... Based on the damage we did and the attacks that it has on it, we know his Groudon is Assault Vest. Zacian comes out now. I unfortunately am locked into Stone Edge here, which is not, like, the best thing for us. But, like, you know, we take this Groudon out this turn. He attacks into Ditto to take it out, and then I Flare Blitz his Zacian. We're going to crit his Groudon, make him sad. Crit. Oh, that's really freaking close. That was a crit? Oh my gosh, we're so dead. No, don't attack there. Yep, alright, we've lost. We have, unfortunately, lost. Miss. Dang. That's a -1. Precipice Blades. I guess it is also single target. Stone Edge somehow cause a flinch. Somehow turn into Rock Slide here. And flinch his Zacian into next week. I mean, we are lucky and we hit all of our Stone Edges, but unfortunately... Alright. So, game 2, what do we like? Okay, so after about 20 minutes of fighting with my internet, we are back. I think I really like Dialga plus Grimmsnarl up front here. It allows us to put on a ton of pressure against like his Charizard on the swap in. Dialga is able to pressure his Grimmsnarl super effectively. Like as we saw in game 1, we're able to one-shot his Grimmsnarl through screens. So like there's a non-zero chance that he just doesn't put up screens in front of us, which if so, then like we're so far ahead. I really like Calyrex, and I think Ditto as our last one is really good as well. I think like trying to intimidate down Zacian is probably not the way we want to go. And I think just really being able to pressure him with like his with this Ditto, I think can be a very effective end game. So let's try it. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I got scared that we were getting disconnected again. Okay, it is the same lead for him, Grimmsnarl, Zacian. I really like our position immediately. We have Grimmsnarl the Snow Frolicker, which is just a sick weather, just weather-based, ribbon star sticker thing. So yeah, I'm just gonna try to one-shot his Grimmsnarl again. And I'm gonna go for a fake out into his Zacian just so like we can like ignore it for the turn essentially. I think this lead is really effective for us. I would like to see... I would really like to see Light Screen and not Thunderwave Dialga. Please don't Thunderwave my Dialga. Bopped. No! That's the literal opposite of what I wanted to see. Okay. So, like... We're fine. We're okay. We're not, but we're okay. So now we get to play the Para his Zard to make his life sad. Man, why does he have to be good and like make the right play? He's gonna make the play of swap out Zacian, go into his Groudon here. What is my play? I don't want to sack here. I don't want to go here. Because then I copy Zacian. No, I would copy Groudon. I think the only play I have is hope he gets parried. Casey just messaged me and said, fake out Grim, you're a monster. So we're doing something right. I think the other play we could have made here was go for Trick, give him the full Incense, which then is going to take away his Life Orb, and we could live a hit. But we're for sure going to get this Thunder Wave off. We do connect, that's obviously very good. We live this, unless it's into Grim, which if it is, I don't care. Okay? Para one time, para one time, para one time, para one time. Oh, Airstream, that's even better. Oh, and Grim holds on? Okay, hold on. Hold on. No para, no para, no para, no para, no para, no para. Heck yeah, alright, cool. In there. Goodbye. Alright, so Grimmsnarl might be really good in this matchup. It's really unfortunate that we don't have a way of, like, negating the speed drop on Dialga. Okay, in comes Groudon. I would really like to not give him the information that I have Trick as well. So I think my play this turn... I am +1 on Dialga. I bet I can live a double up here. I'm going to go for a Wormwind into the... No. I'm going to go for a Steel Spike into the Groudon. And I'm going to go for a T-Wave into the Zacian. His Zacian is currently at +1 speed, so if I do go down, I'm able to copy his Zacian with Ditto, maintain the speed, and be able to, like, then pressure both of his Pokemon effectively here. Oh, Dialga, you're awesome. Thank you for holding on. Thank you for making my life easier. Bopped. Okay, that's really good damage. Because now I can go into Cali and click Astral Barrage, which might even be able to KO the Groudon here. And then I'm really hoping Dialga goes down so I can bring out Ditto to clean this endgame up. go to +2 on my Ditto with a +1 speed boost with Choice Scarf, and I'm not parried. So that would be cool. I'm going to go for the Steel Beam into Zacian because it's sick. And we're going to go for AB. And hope this works. Groudon goes down. Okay, that's really good. That's really, really awesome. Okay. We go down to Sash. Am I gonna get to fire out the Steel Roller? Come on, one time. One time. Heck yeah! Steel Beam for the win! Bopped. So Dialga's really good. He does now have the info that I am Sash on Kelly, which I think is kind of fine. It's whatever. Like, I felt like that was a pretty big given, seeing how I didn't reveal Life Orb last game, so I feel like that one's pretty okay to know. Okay, game 3. No disconnects one time. So how does he now counterplay my Grimmsnarl? I think my lead is good. I think he's going to be the one who has to make adjustments here. And like, I didn't even show I brought Ditto this last game. I think the 4 mons I brought are the 4 mons I want. All right, let's see the adjustment here from our opponent. What do you got for me, Casey? What do you got for me? It's gonna be Zard Grim. Okay, so this is actually a very, very interesting lead, because I'm now able to not only pressure his Grimmsnarl immediately, but Charizard is going to, like, oh, this is really interesting. I'm gonna trick his Zard. I'm gonna trick his Zard and make him sad. It's really, really unfortunate that my Dialga doesn't have a way. I'm just going to Steel Spike the Grim. Okay, there's the max from the Zard. No swap to Groudon is good, because I'm going to be able to live any hit this has, because it's not going to have its Life Orb now, which I think is very, very critical. If this is just Protect this turn on Zard, I'm fine with that as well. I could have Fake Outed into his Grimmsnarl to then guarantee the one-shot, because he's not going to be able to T-Wave my Dialga, which then I'm able to T-Wave him back. This is actually really interesting. This is a really fun match. Okay, he does just go for Max Guard. So now I'm going to get parried, presumably. No, he's just going to set Light Screen, which is also fine, because I'm going to be able to one-shot his Grimmsnarl through this. And then I'm going to be able to outspeed his Zard, because I have the potential here for Thunder Wave into his Zard. And we crit just for good measure. Heck yes. Go, Dialga, go. Okay, Zacian comes out. I'm gonna T-Wave his Zard, and man, this turn is really difficult. I could Quake into his Zacian I am at +1 defense, so I should be able to live any hit that Zacian has. I think getting the special defense boost here is very important. And I think the para is better because it gives a chance of like just him not attacking this turn. Okay, this is Behemoth Blade. I believe in the Grimmsnarl, which is also just fine. Yep, completely okay. Holy cow. I need, like, oh my god, go, Dialga, go! Holy cow, Dialga, he has a family! Okay, he does get Wildfire off, but it's not going to be enough. Not at +1 out of the sun. I think had that been in the sun, though, we were kind of dead. So, there's that. Yeah, now we go here. We can burn the Groudon. And we can take away the Zard's weather by punching it in its stupid little face. Drop a big old rock on its face. I feel like we've basically got this one locked up. We'll Will-O-Wisp here. I'm at +1 defense, +1 special defense. I need this Rockfall to one-shot Zard, and I'm going to feel absurdly good about our position. Like, I already feel very good. But, like, getting to levels of absurdity would be even better. Taking away Zard's weather, I think, is going to be really important here for us as well. Oh, that's really big for us. Calyrex, why are you so blind? Oh, Calyrex, you're so disappointing. But Dialga, on the other hand, Dialga, he's kind of, it's kind of fantastic. You know that? Dialga's really good, guys. That's what we've learned today. Now I can go into Ditto, outspeed him, and just be able to pressure him with like Precipice Blades and Steel Beam. I can always Steel Beam him too. I probably don't want to because then I lose my my Dialga. So probably just gonna Roar of Time. We will Precipice Blades. And we will Roar of Time. Okay, we do connect. That's very good for us. It's really good damage. Good job, Ditto. Dialga, yo, come on. So disappointing. Dialga. Dialga, buddy, please. He has a family. Please stop. Alright, well, if we miss this Precipice Blades, we lose. Alright, cool. So that game was nerve-wracking. That game was absurdly fun. Dialga just went ham. This was a very fitting end to Series 12 for me in reality. I'm very excited to talk to Casey here in the outro to see what he says about the format. So let's get paired back up with him. Man, so game one, I felt like I was on kind of the back foot the entire game. And I actually felt really good until Charizard one-shot Dialga.
So, I'm not gonna lie. That one shot was the biggest. I'm trying to think of how to say it. I had so much confidence in game 3 because of the game 1 shot.
Yeah.
And then I sat back and I was like, why did that not work this time? And I was like, I didn't have sun up.
Yep, you didn't have sun, and I was at +1 this time.
Right.
But even with, like, had sun been up, I might have still just gone down. I'd have to go back to the footage, but that was absurd.
Like, as soon as that happened, I was like, okay, I got an answer to the Dialga. I'm ready for games 2 and potentially 3. I was like, one shot. I was like, okay, I feel like I'm well positioned here. And then comes the arguably what I call the MVP of the format. Everybody talks about Incineroar. Everybody talks about Zacian. Everybody talks about the Ruby and Sapphire weather setters, but nobody talks about Grimmsnarl.
I hate Grimmsnarl. I hate it so much.
You have no clue how much I love that Pokemon.
Oh, you have no idea how much I hate it. And here's the reason I hate it. Your set is a very standard set. Screens, have Thunder Wave for like speed control, and I'm assuming you have Spirit Break as your last attack to like pressure them and like do things like that, right?
Yeah, yes. The one turn that I clicked it, you killed it.
Yes.
Before it could even attack.
On the other side of that, that's what people expect when they see Grimmsnarl. And then you have people like me who hate people and have Fake Out and Trick and Thunder Wave.
As soon as you Fake Out, I sent in our chat, I was like, you are a monster. You are an absolute monster. Because I did not see that coming.
No one expects
that
it.
was not...
Oh, I hate Grimmsnarl. It's so good at everything.
Do you want to know the worst part about this? The worst part. I sat down this morning amongst all the strep-induced wanting to sleep, and I was like, I've got to try to focus on something just to see what my range of daily performance is going to be.
Uh-huh.
And I turned on Carl's Deep Dive. And he talks about how Grimmsnarl is a Fake Out user. And I totally let myself forget that. And I was like, because the thing that I kept saying to everybody whenever I was prepping for this, like I said, I wanted to make sure that I came in, I represented the Series 12 format the best that I possibly could, which was why I brought Rinya Sun.
Yeah. I
brought Rinya Sun because to me it was the defining team of the format, even though I think Swordfish is probably the more common team and probably the more successful. But Rinya was just, to me, it was the first boogeyman, and it never seemed to go away.
I fully agree. Rinya Sun is absurdly powerful. It was very, very good in this format. And as soon as I saw it, like in team preview, my first thought is, I think I win this matchup. Like the first thing that like crossed my mind is, I'm pretty sure Angelo said he had a positive record against Rinya with this team. So it's just like, based on that alone, I'm just like, all right, I have to figure out how he does it in a span of about a minute and a half.
Which I think is where you identified in games 2 and 3 that Grimm was a lot more important than Incineroar in this matchup.
Agreed. And
which to a player that doesn't have a lot of experience in the matchup, that's not the first thing that's going to come into your brain, because you're going to think, well, I'm going to be able to get drops on their Zacian, at least keep them at neutral.
Mm-hmm.
I have, if they set Sun, I'm going to have a stronger Flare Blitz into Zacian, which is almost a guaranteed OHKO in the Sun. And I mean, it just all around you were, it's like, okay, that one restricted is so far on the back foot because of just Incineroar as a whole.
Yeah, between being able to intimidate both of your restricteds, being able to like apply a ton of pressure between like Parting Shot and Fake Out and like the Sun boosted Flare Blitz in this matchup, like there's a lot to really like about Incineroar. And going into game 2, I just had that thought of like, Ensign didn't do anything. Like,
Right.
it allowed Calyrex to live a hit, but like it's already doing that thanks to its focus sash. Like,
I am so sorry for the corgi background. I'm gonna mute my mic for just a second.
so it was just like, man, it's so crazy just to think that the single adjustment of maybe I don't want Ensign here was like legitimately it felt like the biggest decision of the match. Being able to effectively pressure you with the Dialga really allowed me to just like kind of take over the game in every sense of it. Being able to have the fastest Pokemon on the field, or like being able to live hits from your Dynamax or anything like that, really felt like what I needed to do. And there was a piece of tech that didn't come up, but like I don't know if you were actually familiar with the team I played.
No.
So this was the team. This is an iteration of the team that Angelo took to Secaucus and like top 32'd with. He originally had Lando and Rillaboom instead of the Ditto and the Thundurus. Like those were the changes that were made when Mia, better known as Moon, took this to Worlds. She played this at Worlds, and this is the iteration that she had worked on with like Spacu Titan and that group of people. And so when I was talking to Angelo today, he's like, "Hey, why don't you just play this?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Like this is a team I've played, and like it's enough under the radar that it's going to showcase this format as well. By being able to be like, hey, Calyrex is really good. Dialga did not get nearly the respect it deserved in this format as a whole.
Not at all.
And like the rest of the team is just like generically powerful, good stuff on their own. So like it's a very, very well built team. I cannot stress that enough. The secret piece of tech here is speed swap Calyrex for Dialga. And had I done that game 1, Charizard's never able to pressure me.
You are a liar. That is not on your team.
100%. 100% I have speed swap Calyrex.
Oh my gosh. I really wish that... Listen, I would have taken an 0-2 loss just to see that.
Yeah, there's the screenshot. And like
holy cow.
And like, had I connected either the Will-O-Wisp on my Calyrex, I feel like I was in a like very winning position there too. But Calyrex for some reason is just as blind as a bat, so like I don't understand. Like the idea behind this Calyrex is like early game, it's a very, very good support Pokemon with like Speed Swap and Will-O-Wisp. And then like it's also just a late game sweeper with Astral Barrage. Like everything about this team is insane.
I agree. Like I'm really impressed by this team. I really, really enjoy what you brought to the table. And it was nice to get to see, like I said, Dialga being showcased was fantastic.
For sure.
I really wished I could have saw the speed. I wish I could have saw that speed swap.
Would have lost it.
I probably would have had to pick my jaw up off the floor before we got to this part.
Dude, the crazy part is had I known that Dialga one-shots Grimmsnarl through screens, I would have gone for it turn 1. Had I had that piece of information, just like, alright, yeah, speed swap, one-shot your Grimmsnarl, so now you're never able to, like, Thunder Wave me. Like, I ignore the Zacian, like, and granted, I one-shot your Zacian because of a crit game 3. So, like, there's a non-zero chance that I just lose that game because I miss the crit, I take too much damage from the Wildfire plus Chip, and then you just, like, Sacred Sword my Dialga, and then I just, snowball from there and lose. So, like,
Right.
I did get very lucky with 2 crits back to back to start game 3. But man, just insane.
Right. It was, to me, it was a really good set. It showcased what, in my opinion, Pokemon is about, especially Sword and Shield Pokemon.
Agreed.
To me, Series 12, and like I said, I didn't play the other formats, so I guess it's hard for me to say this, but to me, this was what my whole competitive my timing competitive has been, is just this format. And so getting to come in and to play against you, and even though you've beat me on screen, for the viewers at home, he disconnected several times. So per tournament rules, I am the winner of this set.
Okay, look.
It's me.
This is not a tournament match, sir. There's no judges here. You can't prove that there was a disconnect because Carl's going to edit all of it out, so it's okay.
Wrong. I recorded it and I will send it to Carl.
I also recorded all of it. You're going to put it up on your end, on your YouTube, and it's just going to be just exposing the Pokemon, like the Little Root Lessons community.
It's gonna be like a 30-second short of just it constantly popping up, disconnection,
and you can't prove that. I'm gonna go delete all the messages real quick so you can't screenshot.
But no, it was a fantastic set. I had a very good time. I do think that there were some adjustments that could have been made on my end for at least game 3. Game 2, I felt pretty confident in my lead. As you know, game 3, I chose to lead Charizard instead of leading Zacian, and I think maybe that was more of a correct call. But I don't know that Grimmsnarl still should have been the lead, and maybe there should have been an option of me switching into something different. I don't think Gastrodon was the correct Mon.
I agree with that. I think the Mons you brought were the correct Mons. I think the difference between like a win and a loss is, and this is actually something I even commented on. I think had you gone for Thunder Wave into my Dialga, because like it's very obvious that you're maxing Charizard, I'm maxing Dialga on turn 1. I think had you really pressured my Dialga with yours, with your Charizard, and like Thunder Wave me and like try to get that para chance, you don't really care about screens in this matchup, I don't think, because Dialga is just able to pressure and power through them.
Right.
So I think,
and I definitely see that from game 3. If we played another game, I would 1000% take that route.
And like, I think the adjustment to beat that on my end, and instead of going for the trick on turn 1 into the protect, I should have gone for a fake out into your Grimmsnarl to guarantee you don't get a Thunder Wave off. So like, then I guess the adjustment is like, instead of doing that, you swap into Groudon and just like one-shot me? I don't know. There's a lot of really interesting things about like how game 3 played out. And I think there's a very good chance that like I just made some good reads and like I was very rewarded for them. I think is all it just comes down to.
I can agree, and I think that you also leveraged a better understanding of the format. And I'm not discrediting myself or any of that. It's, you knew I brought a very common team. Mm-hmm. You understood the format. You brought a team that I had not seen, and that is one of the things that I need to work on, is being able to adapt to teams that are a little off the beaten path. Not that this one is as far off as bringing a Doug Trio, but when I saw the Ditto, I said, "Yeah, this is 1000% Carter."
I didn't even do anything. I just played some Pokemon, man. But this is a really fun match. I think that this really got to showcase just what this format was about.
I do regret slightly not bringing a Shadow Rider Calyrex of my own, as it is my favorite restricted, or even bringing Trick Room, which Trick Room would have just absolutely lost this matchup like hardcore, in my opinion.
Trick Room is actually really interesting because I have Taunt on the Thundurus, and I could like speed swap your Pokemon with Calyrex.
Right. I think it gets bodied. I don't think that Trick Room is the right call. But I almost wanted to bring that due to it being my favorite team composition as a whole, and my favorite mechanic in Pokemon altogether. And like I had actually discussed that with Power Dad. Kind of went to him and was like, you're, in my opinion, in the Little Root Lessons Discord, you're the one that did the most work with this. How would you run that? And I ended up, like I said, just deciding, thanks to Team Dojo, and I think that they made the right call and kind of pushed me in the right direction to run Rinya, because I think it gave me the best chance I could to come in and to have this. And I think that's a encapsulation of this format and the competitive format of it as a whole, especially on the regionals level and going into like worlds. It showed a lot of, if you understood the meta and you understood your team, there was a leg up that you had.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of why, if we relay back to the intro, that's days of Modern, and that's how Modern used to work. If you understood your deck and the meta and how to play into it, you were better off than most other players that come in just trying to play a good deck.
I think my internet's acting up.
I feel that was the way with Series 12. At least that's my opinion.
I think my internet's being stupid. Casey? Casey? Casey?
Yeah, I'm here. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, you froze there for a hot second, so.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
You were talking about Modern. That I didn't really catch everything you were saying, but I heard Modern.
Oh, just that in the early days of Modern, if you understood your deck and you understood the metagame in Modern as a whole, you were better off than even some of the people just trying to play the most powerful decks. And it really rewarded you for that effort and that work. And I feel that Series 12 rewarded those who, even at a point of diminishing returns, still did everything they could to understand their team so thoroughly that they knew everything down to the little nook and crannies. And I think that's what we saw with some of the best players. It's why people like Alex Underhill was able to play Trick Room, and Justin Burns were able to play Trick Room at such a high level, even at the events where people thought it wouldn't be that great.
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah, it's really awesome. I have enjoyed this format, and I'm really excited for what Scarlet and Violet bring, because you and I are going to be at a non-zero amount of regionals next year.
Yes.
And I'm really, really excited to just like nose to the grindstone, grind out a team, learn the entire format, and just like really get back to like a tournament grind mindset, because that's not something I've had in years at this point. Like,
same. I miss traveling, and the one regional that I'm 100% going to is Knoxville, which happens to be an old stomping ground for me for Magic. So it's kind of nice to get to return to a place that I've spent a lot of time on the grind in a competitive game. Getting to return in a new form is going to be kind of nice. It's going to be a little bit of a homecoming.
For sure. So I guess we should probably plug your stuff and call it a day before my internet gets to be stupid one more time. So where can people find you? What can, plug yourself. Find all the stuff out there. Where can people find you?
Yeah, I'm a variety streamer over on Twitch. You can find me playing anything from Marvel Snap to Magic to Pokemon. That's at TitanRisingKM on Twitch. You can find me at Twitter at the same name. That's my personal. And then as a whole and a grander scheme, you can find all of our videos and keep up with the gaming community that my wife and I are trying to cultivate through K2 Gaming over at YouTube. So K2 Gaming KY at YouTube, and the same at Twitter.
Cool. And with that being said, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining us for another week. And as always, have a good one. Peace.
Peace out.